You eat that food, buddy. You eat that food. Hello there, Walks and Lyrics. Bailey, cat friends, hello. Alfredo, hello. Catitude, hello. And Debbie, hello. Hope you all are doing well. As most of you know, obviously me and Shelly from I Am Raven, we're going to be doing a dual live today, but unfortunately, little Ballerina passed away earlier this morning out there in Turkey. But I still personally wanted to do a live, and this particular live is just dedicated to little Ballerina. Those of you know me, you know I always advocate for senior felines. I always at the end of these live streams tell people to, if they're thinking of adopting a cat, think about adopting a senior cat first. There's just something special about senior kitties. Um, so here we are. Hello there, Jesse, and hello there, Bruce. Hello there, Alfredo. Hope you all are doing well on this Saturday. As you can see, Maxie is eating his 2 o'clock meal, one of me meals. He's still got these sensors on him. We got back to one of the small sensors now. One of the ones that are now, it's not on the phone anymore. It's back to this little monitor thing. We're not thrilled with this number right now, but we're working on getting his number better. Putting some more insulin in him over time. Jesse, he's always a little bit hungry, unfortunately, and he'll be like that until those numbers, like I was just showing, the numbers here. Once we get these numbers lower, that hunger will kind of dissipate. But it's a work in progress because we just started to get insulin back in him regularly, and now we just got to up the dosage probably. Kind of fool around with that a little bit. Hello, Rosemary. Hello, Sue. Hello, Elizabeth. Thank you all for joining me. Like I said a few minutes ago in the introduction, this live is dedicated to those who knew that Ballerina from Shelly's I Am Raven channel, she passed away. But I just felt like I still wanted to just do this as a dedication in kind of honor and memory of that sweet senior kitty that had a bit of a rough life on the street, but found a very loving and warming home over the last few months of her life. Bruce, you were gonna get a hold of me. Yeah, Shelly sent me an email, Bruce, at around 7 o'clock or so, my time, letting me know, unfortunately, what happened. Let's scoot without getting rug burns over close to Mr. Maximus here. Hello there, Catitude. I'm not sure if I said hello to you or not, but hello. Hope everybody is doing well on this Saturday, as well as can be, of course. Hey, Maxie. I know, Max. We're going to go out in a few minutes. Hey, buddy. Are you going to bite me? Excuse me. Rosemary, yes, definitely rest in peace for little Ballerina. Sue, so sad to hear about her. Cried all morning. Catitude, sad. As y'all know, I definitely have a special place for seniors. Always advocating for our sea lions. Sorry, our senior felines here. Hi, goofball. That was loud, Max. Yeah, Max just kind of uses that toy as a kind of like as a headrest. mouth. Yeah, big mouth, buddy. Yeah, so so we don't have to do our phone anymore. We're back onto this thing again, which has its pros and its cons. Yeah, Ballerina reminds me a bit of Rosemary. Older, small. Rosemary for the most part is loving, but yeah, you just never can tell. You never know. You never know the time that we have. It could be a long time, it could be a short time. So always just treasure whatever time that is, whatever time is going on, because it might end abruptly. Hi, Maxie. I know we're going to come out in a few minutes. Bruce, Indiana, South Indiana, has a cat disease called bobcat something. Just killing cats. I saw the article, Bruce. I'd have to look at it again. I looked at it briefly, so I'm not sure, but I did see the article that you linked to me, though. Hello there, Lewis. How you doing? Hope you're doing okay, all things considered. Alfredo, did anything happen to whom? I might be able to answer that question, but did anybody happen to whom? Sue feel for Shirley. Had a rough few months with Micah, Arthur, and Ballerina passing for sure. Alfredo, as far as I know, because I did get some, me and Shelly did email back and forth a little bit. As far as my knowledge goes, Ballerina suffered probably from a heart attack. But beyond that, I don't know. And I don't want to say too much either. So I know beyond that, I'm not sure. Hello there, Carla. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. If you're new here, hello also and welcome. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So that's to my knowledge, though, that was the situation. I'm sure Shirley will let others know as time continues. Hi there, Roz. How you doing today? Hope you're doing okay. All grieving. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was gonna do this live or not. I did actually ask Shelly. I know we're gonna obviously cancel our dual live or what's going on. But I then asked her if if I do go live today, if I could just make this kind of a dedication. Hence, when you look at the thumbnail, you have little Ballerina on there, and also the linked in the pinned comment is a video that Shelly did today. So it's kind of my way of doing a little bit of a dedication, tribute to the little kitty, being a senior kitty, especially. You know, I'm always advocating for senior cats. We're gonna hang with Max here for just a few more minutes. He is all all done with his, as you can see, that was his 2 o'clock feeding. He pretty much licked it clean. Thankfully, he's got a good appetite. And to answer your question there, Roz, he's doing fairly well. Max is not thrown up here now for maybe close to a week or so. He finally feels like he's stabilizing on insulin just at 1 unit. So, but it's not enough because his glucose numbers are still too high. So we're going to slowly get him up to probably like 1.5 units twice a day and kind of go from there and just reintroduce a little bit more insulin so we can get his glucose numbers down to a more stable. Really, the thing with insulin, just a little bit of like FY or kind of like for people's information if they want to know a little bit more about insulin. Right now, you see his number is this isn't exact, of course, but 321 right now, and it says high glucose. Now, the problem with it being this high is if it's anything over like 250, what can happen, glucose, sugar can spill into the urine and that can start causing issues. So we want to have this number under 250 minimum for the bulk of a 24-hour period. So that's what we're working on now. Hello there, Rima. Hope you're doing well, Rima. Yes, you got Mr. Maximus here who's licking his sensor. Oh, a bit of a funny story. So this sensor was put on him yesterday. The other one ran out. Its time was up. These things only last 2 weeks. But what actually happened was Yoda was biting it and kind of ripping at it a little bit. So there were teeth marks on his other sensor. So it stopped working about a day or so before the 2 weeks were up. So hopefully with this sensor, same thing's not going to happen again. Hello there, Zoe. How you doing? Alfredo, Noah the cat is adopting next week a senior kitty, awesome, who has been in many foster homes. But sadly, the families had always something else, and they had to give them back. That is definitely stressful, taking a cat in and out, in and out, in and out. Hopefully, that cat will have a good life and will be there for a while. You want to eat your tail? You want to show off your big old leg, your big old chicken leg, and show off your nipples? Max always showing off those nipples now. Good thing he's a male cat, though. We can get away with a male cat showing off those nipples. Bruce, your daughter asked you to let y'all know, watch out for timber rattlesnakes. Huh. Timber rattlesnakes, okay. And you can see if I'm going to flip him over back onto the other side. So, Max, hi. Yes, I know. You want to play. Get over on that side, buddy. This is the one that was taken off yesterday. His hair grows pretty quickly, as you can kind of see. But thankfully, he's no rash or anything. Zoe, your dog is good. Awesome. Alfredo, but he has to reveal yesterday because he tried to introduce Noah with the new cat scent, and Noah got mad. Yeah, that's going to take a little while, Alfredo. Cat introductions can take some time sometimes. Phil, hello. Hope you're doing well, Phil. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday. Hello there, ZL7/edits2. How you doing? Thank you. Thank you for popping in. Roz, please forgive you. No worries. You're not going to be able to stay long. You have to go now to do some pet sitting, and also grieve as a community for the loss of Ballerina. Roz, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I appreciate you being able to stop by and kind of hang with us for a little chunk of time, and hopefully we will see you tomorrow with a donation live. But have a good rest of your day, Roz. Take care. Thank you, Z1, ZL7. This is Maximus. You may not know his name, but this is Maximus. He is actually one of 9 cats that live with us, or that we live with, I should say. I kind of show all these cats around during these live streams. We're going to check out some of the other cats here in a moment. Hello there, Joanne Robinson. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Are you new, Joanne? I don't recognize the name. Maybe you're part of the I Am Raven group or crew, if you will. But hello. Another thing, those who might be new listening to me, Max is a diabetic kitty. And his diabetes has been a little up and down. We have 2 diabetic cats, Max being one, Zelda being our other one. Zelda is very stable with her diabetes, but we have to. Max is on one of these consistent glucose monitoring devices on his body, so we always need to just kind of keep an eye, seeing what's going on with the little turkey. All right, Max, you want out? All right, let me see if I can get up. It's always a struggle getting old, getting up. But let's get up and let's check out some of these other cats. Zoe, your dog's birthday is coming up. She is turning 8, maybe. Well, happy pre-birthday, Zoe, to your doggy. I hope they have a good birthday. Lots of treats. Come on, Maxie. Come on, buddy. Come on. Well, the door's open, Max. Yoda. Yoda. Hi. Yoda. I know you want your little toy, don't you, Yoda? Let me get that laser pointer. Bruce, Zelda is doing fairly well, all things considered. All right, Max, we'll let you eat that. That's fine. Yeah, Bruce, Yoda, or not Yoda, Zelda is just trucking along. Lewis, yes, I'm about 6'2", 250. Did I play linebacker in high school? No, I did not. Hello there. Is it only gaming? Only King Gaming, I think. Hello. How you doing? Yes, if my wife is listening to this, I know she's watching down there. Can she actually turn the volume on her phone down a little bit? Because I can hear myself echoing up here, and I don't like the sound of my voice like that. Phil, the spot on Max's side. Yes. So actually, Phil, it's looked better every time it's got changed. Um, there is obviously a potential of like a hot spot forming, and they put a little. What do they put? I can't think of what they put right now, but they put a little something just to kind of calm the area down, and it's been okay. Hello there, Ryan. Hope you're doing well. Rima Kit is either probably under the bed or she might be downstairs. We are going to go downstairs and hang out outside for a little bit here. But first, we're going to torment Yoda with the smiley face. Yoda is quite obsessed with this this toy. I mean, there's the boring, traditional, just light one. But what really gets him going, though, is the face. The face mocks him. If y'all want to say hello to a few of the new people in here, ZL7, I do believe is new. If you all want to say hello to him, and also Joanne. Lewis, no, it wasn't aloe. It was Neosporin. Neosporin is what it was. Phil, I'm not going to be able to say that name, Phil. Kuafis had a spot on his side from surgery, and long story short, it had a permanent white spot on his side. Okay. Max. Yes, we definitely have a little bit of a tuxedo factory going on here. Here's a good shot for everybody. You got all three tuxedos in one shot. You got the troublemaker Yoda here. You got Maximus, and you got the fat one. I mean the chunky one named Tiny. Yeah, Phil, I'm not going to say that. Claphius, maybe? Clapius? You know, I'm terrible at pronouncing things. You know, ZL7, not all cats like laser pointers. Like not all cats don't like catnip either. And there is some debate out there on whether it's right or not for a cat to even have like a laser pointer. So because they can't ever catch them, some people think that you shouldn't even use a laser pointer on a cat, but I don't see the harm in it. Shelly, hello. I hope you're doing okay, all things considered. Just pop in and say hi. Thanking everybody for the love and the support today. You are welcome. Again, hope you're just doing, words really can't express, so I'm not going to try to like use too many words there. Then those who are new, we have Tang here. Tang is the orange tabby. Some of you may not know this, but they say that all orange tabbies, they all work on one brain cell. Is that true or not? Honestly, I don't know. Sometimes orangey is kind of a little dim, I will say, but who knows? Yeah, Orangey doesn't seem to really care about this laser pointer. No, they're not all boys. Tiny's a girl, but the other three, though, Yoda here, Orange, Tang, and Max, these are all boys, but we have 9, and these are the only 3 boys. Everybody else, they're all females. Speaking of that, let's go and do a little bit of up close with one of the other females up here. We're just going to stop playing for a second here. Sorry, Yoda. I know. You're like, where's the toy? This is Pandora. Pandora is about 13 or so. Pandora always thinks I need to be tenderized, and I'm like her salt lick. You know how horses, they like salt licks, right? Those salt licks they just lick on for days. That's what, excuse me, that's what Pandora does. Pandora is 13. We have an older group here, like Yoda. Yoda's about 10, 8, 9 or so. Pandora is 10. Maximus, the tuxedo with the diabetes, it's got the sensor on there, he's 10. Tiny and Tang, they're brother and sister. They are 4. My wife and I have done a ton of fostering, done a ton of fostering through the years. and they were the last. There was a group of 5, and we wound up taking in Tang and Tiny, adopting them. Most of these cats we've had most of their lives. We've had Pandora since she was maybe 3, I want to say, or so. Yoda we had since he was a baby also, like 6 weeks old, 8 weeks old. He was a part of a fostering group of 6. And he had a very naughty fostering group. His siblings, his brothers and his sisters, they would sling their poop, their turds, like all over the walls. They were very naughty little kids. And they still are to a point. Well, I don't know about the other ones, but Yoda's still kind of naughty. He doesn't sling his poop anywhere anymore, thankfully. But he does, though. Whatchamacallit. He does turn on faucets, or he used to. So he's still a little troublemaker. Tiny, I know you got to bury the carpet into the litter box, right? Tiny. Hi, Chunky. Hi. Lewis, video of Ballerina's bear. Okay, I will check that out when I'm done with the live. Fredo, she's actually technically, we have 9 cats. She's kind of the 10th cat because her name, obviously, shortened is Cat, K-A-T. Let's go check on Rosemary. Like I said, Rosemary reminds me a lot. No, Yoda, you're not coming in here with me. Rosemary's not interested. Reminds me a lot of Ballerina. So let's go check on her. She ate most of her food, which is good. Hi, honey. Hello there, Miss Space Nut. How you doing on this Saturday? Hope you're doing well. This particular one she's about 18 or so. Like I said, we do have these older kitties. She's about 18. Zelda, who I'll show in a little bit, she's our oldest. Zelda's 20. Zelda's been a diabetic since she was about 10 or so. So she's had diabetes going on 10 plus years. Oh, wow, she's older than you. 13, okay. I know, Rosemary, I know. You're a good little nutball. Yeah, we had to, her ears are still going to be a little dirty. I'll kind of show you them a little bit. But we had to clean her ears. And we just use a cotton ball to kind of get down in there because she's deaf. And we don't want to, this kind of may sound weird because she is deaf, but we don't want to like damage like her eardrums or anything. So we just gently go into the ear a little bit with a cotton ball and a little bit of like ear cleaning solution, just kind of rub in that area. But we need to clean all of these cats' ears. It's time. We try to do it about once a month or so. Hi, honey. You leave me alone. I just want to sleep right now. I'm a cat. I need my 24 hours of sleeping. I do not know if she was born deaf, because we rescued her from an animal hospital that I was actually working at. And the reason I say rescued her is if we didn't take her on, then she probably would still be just living inside of a cage, like a 2x2 cage, 3x3 cage. And that's not really a life for a cat. So we took her on in our group. So I don't know though to answer that question. We don't know if she was born deaf or if she just developed over time, if she just became deaf. So I'm not sure. I know, it's a little gremlin. But she's our little gremlin. I'm gonna let her rest for now. I'm gonna go back out and maybe we'll kind of go outside for a little bit with some of the other cats. So we will be back. Yoda. 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 Hello there, Nicole B. Welcome if you are new to the community. The way it works, LZ or Z LR, the way it works, Rosemary doesn't get along well with other cats. So we have her out several times during the day, and when she's out, the other ones are in. So it's more so for their protection because we tried introductions before with these cats, and Rosemary just loses her mind when she sees other cats. So she is not cat friendly at all, I will say. Nicole, well, welcome and hello. If y'all want to say hello to Nicole, feel free to, please. Just have a warm welcome. Hello there, Tazo V. Hope you've been doing well. Haven't seen you in a while, but I hope things been going well for you. Yeah, Nicole, a little bit more about this community and about myself. So we do have 9 kitties, mostly fosters and rescue cats. They all have a little bit of backstories, of course. Another thing that I think kind of just separates this channel from others. So whatever money that is earned from this channel, I don't keep any of it. I don't keep a dime of it. I donate all of it to charities across the world, like different cat rescues across the world. And speaking of that, actually, tomorrow we'll be, as a community, we'll be donating maize donations. So I think we'll be donating to at least 4 different rescue groups. So just a little bit more kind of like what we're all about. Sue, it's about 100 degrees there. Whew. It's probably around that same out here in NC. This is the baby, for those who are new. She's a little nutty calico. And she's kind of going crazy here. Hello there, Weird Al, MJ, Elvis, etc. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. If you happen to be new, hello and welcome to the community here. To this big old family of just cat lovers and cat parents. Yes, ZL, give me a few moments and I'll get... Zelda's probably under the bed. So I'll get under the bed and get her on camera for a little bit. Just give me a few minutes though. Catitude, the baby, she is about 13 or so. Looking at her though right now, being a little lunatic, she doesn't seem like she's 13, right? Hello there, is it Shalaja? I'm terrible with pronunciation. So those who are new here, I don't do it on purpose. Sometimes I just struggle pronunciating. I'm special that way. But hello there. Nicole, you foster and TNR. Awesome. And given any way that you can. Awesome. How long have you been fostering and doing a TNR stuff? Lewis, North Dakota took a big hit last night. Tornado, I'm assuming, Lewis? Hopefully no fatalities. All right, let's give this laser pointer a rest for a few moments. And let me get under the bed, or partly under the bed. I know, Yoda, you're just going to follow me. Like, where are you going? Where's the light at? Same with you, Tang, huh? All right, let me turn on the lights. Turn on the flash. I don't mind the water bottles. They're free roaming water bottles. They live freely here. So that's Zelda. 10 years. Okay, cool. How many have you think you fostered through over that 10-year period? And TNR is definitely important. So this is Zelda. Zelda is our oldest, 20-year-old kitty, diabetic for 10 years. She's doing good though. She also has a little bit of kidney failure in her right kidney, I think. No, Zelda probably took that under there, Phil. There might be another television under the bed. You know, the cats, when we turn off the TV, they have another one under here, and they watch television. They watch the naughty programs. All right, let me turn the light off since Zelda's out from under the bed. How long does she stay there? It just depends on the day. Sometimes she's up on the bed. Sometimes she's under the bed. It just depends on where she wants to be. Hi, Zeus. Lewis, at least 3 many homes and farmhouses were destroyed. Now that they're using drone cams to survey the damage. YouTube vids of it. Okay, I'll have to look at that sometime then, Lewis. I had no idea. Sue, you thought it was a remote to get you to develop treats and cuddles. They've programmed us very well, Sue. We don't need that. They know that we come. Another thing about Zelda, it's kind of hard to see in the light, though. She does have cataracts. It's either cataracts or glaucoma. I can never think which one it is. But if the light shines properly, and if I can get her head up, you can kind of see there's like a little bit of like dullness kind of in the eyes. It's kind of hard to tell there. She's just a domestic short hair, just a tabby, gray tabby. I think some people call her a mackerel tabby. Or there's another name for it as well. Can't think of what it is right now. Spotted tabby. I don't know. There's a few names. So just a tabby. But she's a sweet old girl. I think it's glaucoma. Bruce, but honestly, I can't remember if it's glaucoma or cataracts. He says, hello, people. She is the matriarch of the bunch. She is the ruler, but she kind of rules very softly. She pretty much just sleeps in her kingdom. The real ruler is this one, or at least he thinks he is. He's the wannabe little ruler. He's the little wannabe dictator, aren't you, Yoda? What you really want is this, don't you? Oh, just a quick heads up for those who are interested. So tomorrow, I think some of you already know this. Tomorrow we will be doing our donations for the month of May. And part of that also, we will be doing our giveaway, not for this laser pointer, but a one that's exactly the same thing that hasn't been used once. So that'll be tomorrow. Which cat is the most active? Probably the young ones. Yoda, Tang, Tiny, Kit. I think those are probably the most active, I would say. Lewis, so that looks like your kitty Wheezy. All right, let's make our way downstairs. We were going to come back up here again. I normally do these lives for an hour. Last Saturday I did 2 hours. I might do it again for 2 hours. We'll see kind of how I feel after that first hour. ZL, you had to enter in a contest about a week or so ago. It's already closed up now. So there was about 12 people that entered into it. But I do plan on doing future giveaways though, for other toys and other things in the future as well. I know, Yoda, that's your litter box that you never go into, huh? That's your little, actually your little space pod, isn't it? When you go off to your planet late at night. Planet Goofball. Hello there, Maya. Thank you for joining us today, Maya. Hope you're doing well. Those who might be new here, or maybe not, but those especially who are new here, this is a dedicated live stream. There was another channel, I Am Raven. Unfortunately, one of their kitties that they were taking care of passed away, kitty named Ballerina. So on the pinned comments, if you want to know more about Ballerina or you want to see that kitty, then please hit that, please, some point in time, click that button and go over there if you are interested. So unfortunately, the Ballerina was a street kitty, and she unexpectedly passed away this morning. But so I'm kind of doing this live stream as a dedication to that kitty out in Turkey. Phil, you're probably not going to make it tomorrow. If there's a vote, just double Bruce's vote. Okay. All right, Phil, we'll do. All right, let's head downstairs.
Yes, good job.
Sue, appreciate that super. That'll obviously help the next time when we donate. Thank you. Kit, come on, Kit. Bless you, Yoda. Come on, let's go outside for a little bit, guys. We'll see who comes out. Porch is a little messy, but got to clean it up. Nicole, you just happened to come across you guys looking for Raven. Okay. LJ7, you tried to donate €5, but it said error. Well, you can either try again or not. That's totally up to you if you want to. Thank you, Lewis, there for the super. Again, that'll help the next time that we donate. Thank you, friend. Phil, you don't celebrate Father's Day last week because everyone was sick. So you're gonna do it tomorrow. Okay. Well, I hope you have a good day with that. Are you a father, Phil? I know you're a cat dad, but are you a dad in another capacity, or is your own father? Are you gonna be celebrating with them? YT Short Cat Kings. I'm not sure why YouTube didn't let that comment go through, but are your cats obese? We definitely do have a few chunky cats, yes. I will say that myself. I have no problem saying that. There are some chunky cats in this group. These are also very spoiled cats. This screened-in porch was not here originally. It was just a deck, so it just had the decking and the deck that was under it. We built this screened-in porch for these cats, so this kind of shows you how spoiled these cats are. This is Kit, right here. Kit is our oldest foster. The only adult foster that we did. Let me try to get what I'm trying to say correct here. All of our other fosters were young kittens, but Kit here was an older kitty when we fostered her, and wound up foster failing her. Appreciate the compliment there, Nicole, that we're doing amazing. We try our best. We try our best. Do all the cats like to go outside? Most of the cats like to go outside, yes. Yes. Zelda on occasion, because she's older, Zelda doesn't normally come out here. Hello, Yoda. So sometimes we'll just pick pick Zelda up by Yoda, and we'll just pick her up and bring her out here. Do they claw at the screen? Honestly, not really. Sometimes, but not really. Yoda's likes to just claw at the walls, Lewis, unfortunately, which is kind of annoying because we are in the process of eventually getting this house sold and moving either to somewhere else in North Carolina or down to Florida. No, they don't go outside of the deck. We don't ever let them outside. Now, if they escape, that's a different story, but we don't let them out beyond that point. Yeah, Yoda's a weird cat because Yoda's probably like right by the door. Yoda likes it both ways. He loves the outside aspect of it, um, but he also loves the air conditioning. So he's kind of lazy that way. Literally, sometimes you can't see him right now, but I guarantee you he's like right by where the door is. So he kind of likes it both ways. He's lazy sometimes. Phil, Cat Dad. Gonna celebrate with your girlfriend's dad. Your dad and you do not get along. Sorry to hear that, Phil, but I do understand. Family dynamics are definitely interesting sometimes. You can see what's also interesting right here. You can see there's a bit of a showdown. Yep, knew that was gonna happen. So Kit is kind of like an enforcer. A lot of the other cats are afraid of Kit, especially Orange here, Tang. Um, they don't necessarily get along. They don't fight really, but Kit doesn't put up with the shenanigans of the boys. ZL, thank you for subbing. I hope this is a community that you can come back to and a place that you can, kind of just kind of hang out with and be part of this big cat family. Did I ever work for the UN? Not to my knowledge, Lewis. Not to my knowledge. I don't think I could put up with the stuff of the UN. I think it's a bit too much. That and to be honest with you, some of my opinions probably I would not be very popular in the UN. To be honest, I could so do a different type of YouTube channel. That's not cat related, called the Common Sense channel. Because I feel like common sense is like, I don't know, has evaporated out of a lot of people's heads here. But what do I know? I've sniffed too much catnip through the years. Baby. Kit. Now, the only reason I'm really out here, I would trust these cats normally, but that one right over there, that one who's acting all innocent and cute and cuddly and everything. Let me actually answer a couple of these questions here first. I always like to keep up with chat. What time is it in America? My time is about, I want to say it's about 3 o'clock nearly out here in North Carolina. So I'm at about 3 o'clock or so. Weird Al, do you think it's hard for a cat to bond with their new, I don't like to call them owner. I don't usually use the term owner, but I understand what you're saying. I just call them cat parents. But with their new person when being fostered, absolutely, I think it can be very difficult and it can take a lot of time. So the human that's involved in that equation has to be patient, caring, and just respectful of the cat's boundaries. But I do think that it is possible though. It sometimes though it may take time for sure. But anyways, so I was saying I wouldn't even be out here necessarily. I would just, in other words, I could open the door and I would just let them out. But that one there, who's got her foot up in the air, licking her toe beans, uh, we were in a house a few years ago, and we had the screen, the door open to the screened end porch, and we would just kind of let them do their thing outside. But one day, they were doing that, and I heard gotta get my finger out of the way, and I heard like this great like whooshing noise, and I get outside, and Kit was the only one out there, and I don't see her in the screen porch at all. So I look around, I see this like cat who just doesn't look like Kit, but I guess she was Kit, but she had like this squirrel in her mouth. Nicole, you have to go. I hope you have a good rest of your day, Nicole. Hopefully, we'll see you in the community. And again, welcome, and hopefully we'll see you in the future. So like I was saying, she had this squirrel in her mouth, and I yelled, Kit, and she dropped it because it didn't look like Kit. It looked like a wild animal, and that's the thing about cats that we don't seem to understand is, even though they're uh, domesticated, right? They still have the wild likeness inside of them. It just they still have that wild sense of hunting, all that stuff. Even though they're domesticated, kind of, not really. But she dropped it, and I started walking over toward her, and unfortunately, she just ran off. She just bolted away. I got up to where the squirrel was. Unfortunately, the squirrel was still slowly kind of breathing, but I know it was dying. There's nothing I could do with the poor squirrel. So it just had to. After a few moments, it just stopped breathing. Um, so then we started looking. I was, looking everywhere for Kit. I was going around the neighborhood. I was knocking on people's door. Apparently, I was scaring people because I was knocking on their door, asking them, "Have you seen this cat?" And only like a few people would actually answer the door. And the crazy thing is, some of you might know this app called like Nextdoor app, especially those who live in America. I don't know if it's in other countries or not, but Nextdoor is an app, like a neighborhood app, that a lot of communities have. So after I'm done knocking at some doors and things like that, I go back home just to kind of see if she's back in our yard, in our area. And bye, bye LZ or ZL. Bye. Thank you for subscribing, and hopefully we'll see you in the future as well. But like I was saying, I go back home and I start just looking online because I'm gonna put a post like in our community, and I'm reading like these posts like this weird, strange white guy was knocking at our door and like scaring our kids because he was like asking things, and like, what in the world is wrong with you people? I'm legitimately just trying to find my cat here, this cat, and then you're posting like this strange, scary white guy is like intimidating you or like scaring your kids who are like in the house. It's like, what in the world is happening to this country or to these people? Have we all become so frightened of like our neighbors and just unable to communicate with each other as a species anymore? It's just kind of scary. But, we looked for Kit for about 30 hours or so, 36 hours or so. And eventually she came home herself. We kind of left the screen door. I mean, even though there was a patch, there was a hole in the screen, but we left the door open. And the next night or so, she came back, thankfully. And we had to check her, though. We had to go get her tested for rabies because she did kill a squirrel. And I know YouTube doesn't like to use the word kill, whatever. I mean, people say unalive, but, I got no problem saying the word kill because that's what happened. Um, but anyways, uh, we had to get her tested. Thankfully, I mean, she had a rabies shot, but still, you just never know. She tested negative. So anyways, long story short, that's why I'm sitting out here while we're while we're out here. Just with that one. Now, Rosemary, I will say we do make an exception when Rosemary comes out here. She doesn't, we don't, she's not going to go anywhere. I mean, she just lays flat and just melts in the sun usually, so she's fine. Let me kind of catch up with chat here. So many cats go missing on next door. Society's made us paranoid. Up to a point, it seems like that. Hello there, Maria. A love from Brazil. How you doing today? Sue, drama queens. People like to make things up, so they sound interesting online. That there is a certain truth to that, Sue, for sure. There's like online life, and then there's real life. Myself, I try to be like as real and as transparent as I possibly can. Kind of like what you see and what you hear on when you're listening to me is as close as the real me as possible. There's no it's too tiring to be kind of fake or phony, and for me. Lewis, look what happened in Minnesota. Oh, do you mean the political stuff, Lewis? Is that what you're talking about? Oop, let me pull this back. Okay. YouTube doesn't seem to like many things. Yeah, YouTube definitely it's got its pros and cons. I can't knock YouTube because it is a free service. And they don't charge you to be a creator, so I think that's a good thing. Catitude, there's definitely some depressing things. Catitude, a good website to check out. It's cat related, and it's like more positive news. I want to say it's like Good News, like the Good News Network or something like that. I don't know if they have like a TV program, but they have a website. So I would definitely look into that. You're going to see a lot more positive cat stories and just positive stories like overall. If you check that out at some point in time. Bruce, last week your daughter asked me, will the army recall? Oh, yeah, no, Bruce, you're too. I don't think they would do that, Bruce. I think there's an age restriction on that. Sue Catitude, you got rid of your TV, so no moos and mo ads. Total bliss. Maria, I know you've been on here before. You don't understand English. I wish you could, and unfortunately, if you wrote like in Spanish, I couldn't understand that myself. But I'm glad that you're here though. Gracias. Hi, time. Who's a good girl? Who's a good little nutty cat? If anybody is new here, it looks like there's around 40 people. Well, now 33 people. The thing always fluctuates. So if you are new here and if you want to say hello, feel free to. My name is Adam. We have 9 cats that live with us. And we just kind of hanging out with some cats here. Also, if you want to look, there is a pinned comment. That pinned comment goes to a channel called I Am Raven, a good friend of mine, and a lot of people on this chat. Unfortunately, she had one of her kitties that she saved from the streets, Ballerina, unexpectedly passed away this morning. So that video is just a tributed link, or a tribute video from her about Ballerina. So if you were interested, you could find out a little bit more about that. Oh, I'm gonna spank your butt. I know somebody asked earlier if we had any obese cats. I don't know if they're still on here or not, but yes, this one here, this is an obese kitty. This little tiny cat, she weighs about 18 pounds or so, so there's a lot of her to love. We so wish we could just like get like a syringe and like just suck the fat out of her and inject it into Rosemary, like a pound or two. I'm sorry, Tiny. I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm just being honest here about it. Just suck the fat out of her and put it in Rosemary's like hips. And you're gonna bat me because of what I'm saying. And a little bit of Max too. He could use a little bit of weight, a little bit more weight on him. And so could the baby. Phil, she'll probably get her revenge on me later tonight. You got this one, who's all dramatic, as you can see. She's all melted. Catitude, why are the biggest cats also always called tiny? That's a great question, isn't it? There is a certain irony in that, huh? Maya, pretty baby. Lucky she doesn't understand. Maybe she does, Maya. I don't know. I think cats are pretty darn smart. And they'll get their revenge in the forms of throwing up late at night. And then I'm sure you all have, right? You've had a cat throw up in the middle of the night. And you get up. And then you take that step. And then you take another step. And you don't have a sock on. And then you just happen to put your foot into either warm or cold puke. Isn't that the best of feelings? Don't you just love it when that happens? Maria, you're gonna head out. Hugs to the kitties. Appreciate it, Maria. Take care, Maria. I know you can't understand what I'm saying, unfortunately. Yoda. Kit, is that necessary? Like I said, Kit is the sheriff around here. She doesn't put up with anybody's nonsense. But Yoda, though, is obsessed because I have this toy here and he wants to get closer to it, but he's got to get past Kit. Rima, Adam, do you think that the tuxedos are much smarter than other cats? I think tuxedos seem to be more curious than other cats sometimes, so I'm not sure, Rima. Maybe. I think a lot of cats are a lot smarter than a lot of people give them credit for. Lewis, you landed on your behindeth one time slipping on cat puke. Lewis, my wife almost landed on her behindeth a few nights ago, or a few days ago, slipping on cat puke. Hello there, TJ Nelson. How you doing? Cold, soggy hairballs are the absolutely worst to step in. I completely agree. Hello, Glare Bear. How you doing? Glare Bear, I was worried about you for a little bit because I know you had a gifted membership, and then it said, like, the channel has been deleted, so I'm not sure what that was all about, but I saw you make a comment a day ago or something, so glad that you're here. Hello, Charlotte. Yes, Charlotte. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a live stream separately or not. I did ask Shelly if I did do a live stream, if I was good, if she was okay with me dedicating this live stream to Ballerina, and she said yes, please go ahead, and so here we are. But it definitely, it's always, there's like, I was asking my wife, it's like, I think, would we rather have a situation where a kitty just passes away, right? In the middle of the night and you're not there? Or would we rather have a situation like where we were there? Honestly, I think that's a kind of a tough question because I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. Sometimes. Yoda, here. This is what I was talking about earlier about Yoda and his, he kind of wants the best of both worlds. He loves the outside time, but he also loves the air conditioning. Glarebear, you were going to leave YouTube, but you changed your mind and just rested your 14-year-old channel. Okay, well, we're glad to have you back, Glarebear. Tigris, hello. How you doing? Maya, you'd rather be there to comfort them? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, out of the 4 cats, we've had 4 cats that have passed away, my wife and I, since we've been married. And we were there for 3 out of the 4 of them. We were technically there for all 4 of them, but we were only there for kind of 3 out of the 4. Alfredo, how many cats have I had? Like all together in my life, probably around 20, I want to say. Yoda, you got some green gunk in your eye, because I just saw it, so we're going to have to probably give you some eye drops. Alright, cats, I'm probably going to have maybe my wife come out here, because I'm starting to melt a little bit myself. I can only be out in the heat for so long before I, start becoming just melted into this couch. My wife is saying no, so I guess unfortunately the cats are going to have to go in as well. Yeah, Yoda, you definitely got some gunk in your eye there. What are you gunking for again? Phil, I'm used to it. You know how it is. You know what they say, like the whole happy wife, happy life kind of thing. All right, cats, come on. Come on. Let's see who's going to cooperate. The boys, probably. Come on, Yoda. Come on, let's go in. Yoda, come on. Yoda. Let's go. Come on, Yoda. Go on, get in there. Get your hiney in there. Come on, Tang. Go on. Tiny. 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 Come on, Squeaky. Oh, Tiny, don't let me pick you up because you weigh too much. Come on, Tiny. Come on. The trouble is this one. Baby. Baby. Hey. Baby. Yoda, why are you out here again? I know you're just a stubborn little child. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Go on, Yoda. Let's go. Yes, the baby answers me, but she answers me, she just talks back to me. She's in melty mode. Okay. Definitely is cooler in here, isn't it, Yoda? Oh, she is, yes. That's a calico thing. Sassy like nobody's business. Meh. Baby, are you too lazy to move now? All right, let's go check on Max again, and let's go check on Rosemary. Maybe Zelda's from under the bed still.
Hey, gone and done it.
Gone and done what?
Yoda obsessed.
Yoda's always obsessed. I think Yoda might have like ADHD or something. Oh, there's a litter box shot. Hello, kitties. Hi, goofball. Yes, everybody wants to see your big nose. Oh, let me rest for a moment here. It's tough just having a camera on cats and talking. Hi, Zelda. All right, what are we at? An hour and 10 minutes? I guess we'll go at least to an hour and a half, maybe. Maybe we'll make it to the 2 hours. We'll see. We'll see as time keeps on going. Hi. Hello there again, ZL. We're still here, hanging with these cats. We had to go outside for a little bit. I had to lose some weight by sweating bullets outside for a little while. Yeah, Zelda, we need to clean your ears. Your ears are dirty. We need to clean them. Bruce, you'll trade Nini for Yoda. Again, no, Bruce, I'm sorry. This also is a UV light, so in case there's any yuckiness going on things, this can tell. Apparently, this also like is a way of seeing if a dollar or your money is counterfeited or not. Here, there. Now, what are you gonna do with it? Tigress, you found out the bangle with the heart murmurs is $10 and that the other one is $50, so you might just be getting the one with the heart murmurs. Okay. The key, Glare Bear, from what I've seen, is not to use any kind of toy all that often or to rotate toys, so it's always fresh for them. Like this, I only bring out during the live, so I only have this out twice a week. Pandora, really? Pandora, is that necessary? I don't think you need to do that, honey. Max. Hi, Maximus. You're like, yes, you're on, have me on camera again here. Pandora, really, let's not eat the phone. Let's get your mouth off of the phone. Lewis, you never had animals your whole life except for goldfish when you were 10, which lasted 2 weeks. Then at 43, a hungry kitty looked at you, head slightly tilted, and your life changed forever. Yep. Well, you know, as they say, once you go cat, you don't go back. I had goldfish probably when I was a young lad as well, and they probably died. We obviously had many burials at sea. Does anybody remember sea monkeys? Those were quite the pets to have. Jesus. Where did I get the laser from? So I have done some reviews recently, which is like collaborations, which means like a company will like ship this stuff to me for free in exchange for a review. So I've done a few reviews recently of various products. So that's what I was saying. I might, I have some cat toys that, Whitey, you gotta let go of it. Out, Whitey, really? Yeah, I know, I'm not a toy. Well, I kind of am, actually. But not in that way. What brand? Honestly, I don't know what brand this even is. It's brands I've never heard of. So I couldn't tell you. I think it's one brand is called like Blue Gun. Like Blue, BLUGUN. Another toy is like whatchamacallit, Go Sheeple or something. So I've never heard of these places. Alfredo, how do you get the sponsorship? Yeah, so companies. So with my email, that's on the on my channel's description. Yeah, there's an email there, like a contact email. So they do contact me. How? I've gotten kind of like changed my mind though recently. So before it's always like, hey, we're just gonna give you this toy for free in exchange for a review. But what we're gonna do now, Rima, have yourself a good rest of your day, Rima. It was nice chatting with you for a little bit, and I hope your school studies are going well, and hopefully we'll see you on a future live. Um, what was I gonna say though? Oh yeah, so in the future, what I'm gonna do as far as sponsorship goes, or like collaborations, I'm gonna ask the companies instead of like just giving me a free toy to review. Could you also give me like a flat fee of like, I don't know, 20, 30, $40 or something? And then I would tell the company like, hey, it's gonna go directly to helping cats in need. So if you really care about cats, then your company will give me a little bit of a flat fee, like, a little bit of a pay, and that'll help, with donations. I've done that with a few companies so far, and guess what's happened? Not a darn thing has happened. They don't reply back to me after that. That's okay. Word Owl, you miss your Yuki. She was a runt kitten, even as an adult. She was a small little one. How old was Yuki? Word Owl. Hi. Tigress, what's going on with Tigress? I've seen something. You got 12 kitties, 5 doggies, 16 rabbits, 2 goats, and 11 chickens. A Dr. Doolittle going on there. That is a lot going on. You want to do some bunny kicks, honey? Here. I know, let's do some kicks. It's been a while since we've done some kicks. I don't recommend doing this. If anybody's watching this, do not stick your hand in a cat's mouth. But not Rosemary, but Pandora, she demands her pound of flesh every so often. Got to get the wild out of her. Hello there, Sherry McGee. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. Hello there, Azalea. How you doing as well? Nice to see you on a live. Hope things are going well for you on this Saturday. Those who might be new to myself, or I want to point out the pinned comment again. I've done this a couple of times. I'm going to do it a few more times as this live continues, because this live is not necessarily about my channel or these cats that you're seeing. This is more so a dedicated live to a friend who has a YouTube channel called I Am Raven. They had recently took on an old sweet street cat out in Turkey, who was doing well. Everything was going well. They had been with them for now, I think maybe about 3 months or so. Unexpectedly and unfortunately, though, that kitty named Ballerina, as you can see in the pinned-in comment, passed away unexpectedly. So this is kind of like a dedicated live stream to that cat and to the channel. I Am Raven. So if you are new to me, or maybe new to that channel, perhaps, click on that blue button, that blue link, and so you can learn a little bit more. And you can see Sweet Ballerina and her tribute video. We're going to go hang out with Rosemary here in a little bit, kind of see what she's up to. I'm sure she's just sleeping. Life of cats. If they're not sleeping, they're eating. If they're not eating, they're peeing. If they're not peeing, they're pooping. And if they're not pooping, they're playing. And then the cycle just continues from there. Yoda? Yoda? Are you a catfish, Yoda? All right, let's go check in on Rosie. Tigris, if your mom says it's okay, could we do a live together one of these days? Tigris, I'm not against it. It's definitely a potential. You can send me an email if you want to a little bit more information, especially if it's something like with your mom. So I'm assuming you might be under a certain age. So I would have to check some things though first on that. Let's first do some spins. Orangey. Hi, Orangey. Tigers, you're 15, so you're under 18. I would have to check on some things first. I'll look into some things, and then you can see what your mom says, and then we'll go from there. But I don't want to say yes or no right now because I'm honestly not sure how that would work. Maybe in the future, what I could do is, I know people have the potentials of like creating a live where another person can join. It's just like in their link, so people can like randomly join in for a few minutes if they want to. In the future, maybe I could do something like that. Like if people were interested in something like that, people who just want to hop on and maybe they could show off their kitties or whatever, something like that maybe. Yeah, well, this one is Tang's kind of love bear. Tang is always laying on it and maybe doing other things to it. I don't know for sure sometimes, but and then this is just the sloth. It barely moves. I think Tang actually thinks this is his dad because he's always kneading and rubbing on it. Or maybe it's mom, I'm not sure. The bear, yeah, he had too much honey earlier. I will say a kind of a funny story. So a few times, because the bear is propped up like there's a human here, right? I think a few times in the past when like the lights are off and you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you got to get like nibble on a piece of cheese or something. I don't know who else does that, but I definitely do. I think that there is a person there, so it does kind of startle you. You know, because you're barely awake, but you know, cheese calls, and when cheese calls or when like milk calls, I mean, you got to answer the call, of course. Let's go check on Rosie. All right. Well, oh. Ah. Oh. Those of you who have been joining Rosemary's singing shorts, they will continue. I don't know what her next song is going to be. Bruce, I did look into that Thunderstruck song. I didn't know what it was, like the song itself, but when I listened to it, yeah, okay, I know this song. Alfredo, why don't you try to dress Adam like the famous dinosaur and check if you can survive more than 5 minutes? You talking about Barney? Hey, Rosie. You want to say hello to the people? Sue, I'll have to look that one up. I haven't looked into that one yet, but I can. Edith, Piaf, Lavie, and Rose. I will definitely try to look into it. Hello there, vodka players. How you doing? Yes, if anybody has any suggestions, just feel free to don't necessarily put them on here because my memory is terrible, so I probably won't remember it. But if you could leave me a comment on a video, a short or whatever, leave it there, and then and obviously I check those and I try to reply to as many as I can at the end of like each day. I will look into all of that. I might have though Yoda start singing some songs too, because I'm thinking, well, maybe Rosemary could sing like the male or the female songs, or maybe some of the male songs, but then Yoda might get his act into it as well. You could see like Yoda like singing like Elvis songs, I think it'd be like hilarious if Yoda sings like what is that one song? A hound dog song? Nothing but a hound dog. I could so see Zelda or not Zelda, Yoda singing that. Bruce, you played Thunderstruck on, is that so? Oh, speakers. I wasn't sure what that was for a second. Speakers in the Humvees traveling down the roads in Iraq back in those days. I'm sure those were some scary times, Bruce. Even though you're all obviously, trained and everything, just being in a foreign country, people that, aren't your friends and aren't gonna have a welcome wagon out for you, kind of thing. Very, very scary times, I would imagine. I feel like, unfortunately, there is definitely a big lack of appreciation when it comes to those who are serving or have served in the military. It's kind of disgraceful. I feel like those who willingly kind of put their life on a line for people to live the lives that we have in this country. Maya, how old is Rosemary? So we don't know exactly how old Rosemary is, but we suspect that she's somewhere like around 16, 17, 18. And at times she definitely acts like that. Excuse me. But at other times, she definitely acts like she is a spry kitten. Because she's got some hops to her on occasion, and she's got some jukes and some moves. Sue can definitely see them sing Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody together. Yeah, I would have to edit that a little bit, but that would be pretty neat. The only thing is, though, I would have to put it in a short because if you put like songs, like those kind of songs in like a long form video, like a horizontal video, you might get a copyright strike or something because YouTube doesn't like that. It's weird. Like YouTube doesn't want you to use music from places like on a long form video, but they have no problem if you do it in a vertical video. It doesn't really make any sense. Hey, Rosie. All right, what are we at? An hour and a half. Man, these. I think Lewis, you said earlier that these lives go by very quickly, and I tend to agree with you. They do for the most part on my end as well. I think because I just try to keep myself engaged, like talking the whole time. It does give me a bit of a sore throat at the end, and I definitely have to rest my voice the following day. Not tomorrow though, because we got to do another live with donations. But I always, to me, it's like if people come into these live streams and if they're engaging with me, just feel like I have to talk to them. I don't not have to, but I like to engage with them as well. I just think it makes it more meaningful. Sue, on the shorts, you can do the vertical things. The shorts, you can do up to about a minute or so, from my understanding. You can do shorts now for 3 full minutes. But I think if you're like doing a song or something, I think it can only be for 1 minute, to my understanding. Yeah, Rosemary might have to have a dental again sometime soon. She's been a little up and down on eating her food. She's been licking her lips a little bit more recently, and usually that's a bit of a telltale sign that her teeth might be bothering her a little bit. Um, so she might have to have a dental again. I hear Yoda out by the door, who's meowing, probably wanting his toy. Rosemary, do you want this? Whew. Lewis, how about popping lozenges during the live? The New York old coach Mike Mike D'Antoni was also the Phoenix Suns coach back when they were a really good team when they had like Steve Nash and others. Um, Kept a 5 pound bag of sugar-free cherry throat lozenges. Wow, that's a lot. I think I'm already sometimes, Lewis, difficult enough to understand when I don't have something in addition inside my mouth. So if I had like some kind of candy or something in my mouth, I would be speaking much more gibberishly. I'm not sure. Tigress, what kind of food would you recommend for a cat with heart murmurs? To my knowledge, Tigerus, I don't think that there is any particular food that is good or bad. In other words, there's not like any kind of food I don't think that is going to do anything one way or the other with a heart murmur. So as long as the cat is like healthy, and the cat's not getting being fed, like I don't know, KFC or whatever, I think you'll be fine. Or Popeyes or things like that. All right, let's leave Rosie again. Yes, Yoda, I hear you. Let's go see the goofball. I guarantee you he's right at this door. No. I know. Is this a Jack Nicholson movie, The Shining? He just needs to get his little pickaxe because he would knock this door down just trying to get to this laser pointer I have in my hand and say, "Here's Yodi," I guess. Hi, Looney. All right, go on. Come on. Go on. Tigress, no, it's a good question. I just, excuse me, to my knowledge, I don't think there's any like dietary restrictions. Excuse me, dietary restrictions for a cat that has heart murmurs. Here, let's get Tang's foot, Yoda. His foot is turned into like a big mouse. No, it's got to be the face. Excuse me. Yeah, I know Tanger's like, excuse me. What do you think you're doing? Nope, somebody's a little dizzy there. I don't know if you all saw Yoda do a little wobbly action. Yoda's fast, but look at the baby go, though. I mean, she's a whirly dervish. And she doesn't seem to get dizzy either. She just like, yep, let's just go again. Let's go. Hey, Tang. How's your day going, Tang? All right, Tang. Let's go check on Zelda. We're gonna probably, what are we at, 1 hour and 40 minutes here. We might still go to that 2 hour mark, but I might start cutting it loose in about 5 minutes or so. We'll see. You know, I will say that these cats own this bed, but these cats do a terrible job. They never want to make the bed. I mean, it's all like disheveled and everything here. So, I mean, if these cats want to be on the bed, that's one thing. That's fine. But you know, at least make the bed, cats. I mean, come on now. Sherry, you gave your cat's Heart's flea treatment. He started acting odd. Can you give me a little bit more detail than that? What do you mean, but what does acting odd mean? Is he being hyper? Is he being lethargic? Is he throwing up? Hi, Zeus. You're a good girl. Going into the corner and just looking at the wall, and I'm assuming, Sherry, is that's not that's not normal for him. And it looks like Sue is coming in saying that Heart's flea medications or flea treatments are a big no-no. Many cats have died, but this could be a bit of a controversial take, but to me, I'm not really a fan of any flea medications, like any of the ones that you can buy, like from the vet or online. And the reason why is there is an ingredient, and I can't think of what it's called. Sue, maybe you know what it is, and I think it starts with it starts with a P. I know that for sure. But this chemical that they put in, excuse me, this chemical that they put in the medication, it's not a good chemical for cats, for dogs, for anybody. So I'm, excuse me, I am not a fan of any like medicated flea medication. We don't. These cats are indoor. Yeah, that's it, Sue. It's something like that. These cats are indoor, but you know, obviously, even being indoor, they go outside in the screened-in porch, and even there, that's kind of a controlled, contained environment in a way. But obviously, there's still things that can come in. You walk outside, you could get something on your shoe. You could get obviously a flea.
a tick, whatever on your shoe, and you can bring it into your house. Um, to me, the best way are like there are things that you can kind of put around the perimeter of your home that helps with some flea control a little bit and some tick control. And one of them is called, what is it called? Diametrius earth. It's something you can get at like your grocery or not your grocery store, like at Lowe's or Home Depot. That is a kind of like a natural barrier, if you will, of fleas and ticks. Lewis, you're asking what about Revolution? For me, it's the same thing. I mean, I'm not a fan of any of those things, and we haven't put in like flea or tick medications on any of these cats for like probably at least a decade. And we live out in the country, so there's obviously things that are out there. Uh, but I would just rather deal with the fleas than not. And if you do have a flea problem, or like you do get fleas on your kitties, one thing to me that works the best, that is more safe, is Dawn dish soap. Is something that is a really good. It's just you have to be careful because you're bathing a cat. Cats and bass normally don't work well together. And what makes it tricky is a lot of fleas, their favorite places to go to are like the neck, the ears, the underarms, the belly, the base of the tail. And for the most part, that's fine because when you're bathing the cat, you're kind of, you're bathing from kind of the neck down, right? So it gets tricky when it's up in this area. So you have to be very careful up in this area. But to me, Dawn just dish soap is really one of the better routes to go. Let's see. Glober, you got your flea meds from the vet. Yeah, I'm just not a I don't people. I mean, like when we bring these cats in, they always ask, every time, are these cats on any flea or tick prevention? I'm like, nope. Do you want any? I'm like, nope. Nope. So you share one tube between the cats. It still works, but is less strong. Okay. I mean, to everybody, has their own way of doing things, of course. I'm just comfortable not doing it at all. And honestly, I even when we took four of these kitties in on for their annual like shots and exams and blood work, we took in Zelda, not Zelda. We took in Yoda, Kit, Pandora, and the baby, and they were due for rabies, which we have to do the rabies shot. Unfortunately, in most states, rabies is like a requirement. You have to have a rabies shot and then the tag. So we did that. But one thing that we declined is the distemper shot. And again, this might be a little controversial, and I'm just doing what I feel like is best. So for me, after like their initial first 3 to maybe 5 years of getting the initial set of distemper shots and all those like baby vaccines, kitten vaccines, and then after a few years of getting the boosters, honestly, I don't really think it's necessary to get those vaccine shots anymore. And the reason why is because most of the time you're already going to have a built-in immunity from these diseases because you have gotten them over the years of living. The same with these cats. They've gotten like, colds and they've gotten viruses and their body kicked them out. So then their body knows, hey, if this virus shows up, we know what to do because it's kind of in the DNA now. And we know what to do with us, with them, I should say. Bruce, all of the cats' blood works was good. Yoda's, Kit, the baby, and Pandora. Pandora was we were kind of wondering how her T4 levels was going to be, right? Because she had her thyroid disease. But hi, Pandora. But her thyroid was good. It was in a good level. It was like 2.5, which is within the normal range. Now, obviously, having said all of what I just said with vaccines, do your own research. Don't like say, hey, because Adam said it. No, I'm kidding. Because somebody said it, then I'm not going to do it. Always do your own research and do what you feel like is best for your own babies here. But do your research on it though. Always do your own research on things. And somewhat, again, I don't want to be a bit of a soapbox here, but if you feel like your vet is not necessarily listening to you, always question kind of like your vet. And I don't mean like disrespectfully, respectfully question them and ask them questions. And if you feel like they're not listening to you, don't be afraid to go to another vet. And don't be afraid to check out other vets. Because believe me, I've worked with when I was working in animal hospitals and been around plenty of vets. A lot of vets are great. They are awesome. They listen to the people that come in, and they kind of treat you as kind of like a co-contributor to your pet's health. But some of them, I think, because they went to school and they have this degree and they have this piece of paper and they have a couple of letters behind their name, they have this like complex, like they know everything about all critters. And yes, while they definitely probably for the most part know more about cats or dogs than most people that are coming in with their dog or cat, they don't know more about that particular dog or cat. We know more about what's going on with our cats and with our dogs. So always advocate. Ugh. But my soapbox is getting a little slippery, so I'm going to step off of it before I fall off of it. Enjoy, dear boobers. So if you tend bringing new cats in, then you want to vaccinate. I don't disagree with that, but they don't need it every year. Every 2 to 3 years is enough after the initial couple years. Could be. All right, we started with Max here on this live stream, and we are going to end with Mr. Maximus, if I can get to him without too much trouble. Hello there, Spence. Hope you're doing well. Oh, I know Mr. Maximus. He's got his shaved belly. So you're making some headway now with some garage sales and getting rid of some stuff. Awesome. I hope wherever you wind up eventually going to, Sue, I hope it's as smooth and as well. Sorry, I can't talk. I hope it's a good trip and everything is a smooth transition. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, I know, he says Mr. Maximus. Maxie, you got a warm belly. Those who might be new here, again, I'm going to probably say this one more time because I've just wanted to always keep this, say this a few times as I'm doing this. And Spence, yep, that's what I'm just going to mention actually. Is if you are new to this channel or if you are just tuning in this channel, because I know the numbers, they populate, it goes up, it goes down, people tune in, people tune out. So, but if you're hearing me right now, and if you are not aware of the I Am Raven channel, this particular live stream was a tribute to I Am Raven and Shelly out in Turkey, who unfortunately lost one of the kitties that she got from the streets, that she helped create a better life for, Ballerina. So if you would want to click that little blue button on the pinned comment, that'll lead you to a video that Michelle made today. talking about the unfortunate passing away of Ballerina and just knowing a little bit more about Ballerina. I hope that those who have been listening with me for a long time, or during these last like 2 hours nearly, hopefully I have given Ballerina, hopefully I gave her justice. And what I mean by that is hopefully with this dedicated live stream, I have honored her memory the right way in doing this. I was a little hesitant. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this live or not, but I felt that it would give everybody a chance who's in this community and who's in her community, because I know there's some crossover, obviously, between the two communities. A moment and a chance to kind of come together with their condolences in this kind of live stream and be able to chat with each other live. Now, kind of bouncing off of that a little bit, I still, and I've mentioned this a couple times, I plan on probably maybe next Sunday, I plan on starting my first kind of like Google Meet. Those who are not familiar with Google Meets, literally you just click a link you click a link that I would be providing in a community post, and you follow the directions, and then you would be able to, like, in real time actually talk and see each other. If you want to see each other, you can have your camera off or on if you want to. It's up to you. But it's a way of connecting with each other outside of YouTube land, where people can maybe, they can talk about what's going on with their life. They can talk about what's going on with their kitties. Maybe they have a concern that they can in real time then like ask other cat parents or dog parents, if there's those who have doggies as well. We are primarily a doggy channel here, or a kitty channel here, of course. So just keep an eye out on that in a future community post. My plan is next Sunday, maybe it's either Saturday or Sunday, will be the first of those. So those who might be interested in something like that, we will do the first like live Google Meet, and we'll just kind of go from there and see what kind of happens in the future with them. I hope it's something we can do at least maybe once to twice at the most a month or so, for maybe like an hour out of the day. So I just wanted to mention that again. I appreciate the kind words. I know sometimes when people listen to me, I don't come out clearly sometimes. The words are in my brain, but when they come out through my lips, it just seems like they kind of get jumbled up a little bit. So I do appreciate the kind words from those who enjoyed the live stream. So. Going back to me, he's like, I'm tired. I need to go to sleep. Lewis, you are welcome. I appreciate having the opportunity to give people that space as well today. Hi, Maxie. Hi, Yoda. You're still looking for that toy, aren't you? You look upset, honey. All right, well, I'm going to start to head out in these next like couple of minutes or so. So if y'all want to kind of say your goodbyes to each other and to Max, go ahead and start saying your goodbyes. We'll give everybody like a couple of minutes just to say goodbye. I will say goodbye to everybody who has been in here and hung out with me for this last hour or so. Hello there, Simon. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well today. Thank you for joining us. But I'm just going to give some time for everybody who wants to say goodbye to each other too, as we start to wrap up this Saturday special tribute live stream to Ballerina and to Shelly out in Turkey. While we're doing that, Max will give his best pose here. He'll give his cutest pose. This is the pose he does when he's really wanting some food. He says, "Feed me. Can't you see I'm starving and I'm wasting away?" And I need 18 cans a day. Hi, Max. I'm watching you, Max. Up close and personal with Mr. Maximus. A little too up close, huh, Maxie? You're like, get that camera out of my face, human. All right, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Don't forget, if you are interested in tomorrow at 2 o'clock, again, the same time as today, we will be doing our donations for the month of May. So hopefully I will see some of you tomorrow, where we'll be sponsoring more senior kitties, I think at least 6, and then we will be donating to, I want to say, 3 other places as well. So hopefully we'll see some of you tomorrow, again, 2 o'clock. It's not going to be for 2 hours. Those things just last an hour, sometimes less. But I am going to get going. My throat is definitely a little dry, so I will go get some chocolate milk or some milk. I'll go get drinking something. And until then, take care, God bless, and we will see you next time. Bye, Maximus. What's that in your eyeball? Get it off of your eye. There. Get it off of that eye, too. I know, Maximus. I'm always bugging you. I know you're giving me the look. The look of the stain now. All right. All right, y'all. Take care.